Hi there, John Michael Comstock. Welcome to my studio space. So, I want to start off this video by just getting into like where this all started from. So, when it came to this idea, I really wanted to make something for Halloween. That was kind of just the notion that I was like, I want to make something for Halloween that is made of wood, that is YouTube themed, so like kind of scary, material that I know how to work with, which is wood, and then something that is themed around YouTube itself. And so that idea had been rolling around in my brain. I had been looking at Ben Cooper masks, a Halloween mask, and I was like, oh man, these are awesome. Looking at Japanese, I love the way Japanese theater masks look. And so that kind of notion was just playing around in the back of my brain. And then a conversation came up between a friend that just kind of solidified, and I like couldn't get the idea out of my brain. It was just kind of like an offhanded joke, and it just kept sticking around. It was like almost like when you get a piece of popcorn stuck in your teeth. Like that's when I know an idea has some like leverage. Like if it just won't get out of my head, that if I've like had multiple days between it and it just like won't get out of my head, I'm like, all right, let's follow through with it. And that's what like started this project.
Apologies for my voice, I am suffering through allergies. But when it came to this project, I have never done a carving of a particular individual's face before. So where I like to always start is on paper, just to be able to solve a lot of problems, figure out what makes that person's face look the way it does. Because I have drawn hundreds, if not thousands of faces, so by sketching things out, that just helps to be able to understand what that person's face stands out from their face and what makes it particular. Normally when carving a mask out of wood, you would use Hinoki cypress or cherry, but for this, since I'd never done it before, I wanted to go for the cheap, and this was using Douglas fir just from a hardware store. This excess piece of wood gets removed and then attached for the nose, since I need it to stick up off the rest of the face. So removing that and then constantly cleaning up, so much dust removal in this. This part gets attached and set to dry. After letting it dry for a couple hours, then I saw off the excess, just removing some of the areas that aren't really needed, just making rough cuts, just to not have to chisel as much areas. More rough cuts are made with the handsaw. Woodworking is a great hobby if you want to get an arm workout in, because you will get so many new muscles and soreness that you didn't know existed. Then prepping for the jigsaw to round off some of the profile around the face. These kind of projects create so much dust. My dream shop of the future will have dust collection built in. All right, so I'm using this backboard just to be able to stop any gouges as I'm working on this piece. It's been cut down with the rough blade of the jigsaw just to be able to cut out this profile, and I can kind of start working on adding a bevel around these edges, essentially making this hairline and these cheeks taper down, keeping certain areas up because I really want the cheeks to be the high points as well as the nose, forehead obviously, and then recessing the eyes and mouth inward a little bit. Sharpen my chisels before each project, because sharp tools are great at cutting wood and great at injuring fingers. Those of keen eye will be on the lookout for which fingers got injured and by which tools. Leave them in the comments. There is something very peaceful about getting into flow state of just chiseling away and slowly working. You just start understanding how to work with the material. This is at the point in the project where I'm questioning, why am I doing this? There's the self-doubt, and I've talked with many creatives that feel this way, that it's once you get a project several hours in, you start to get this like questioning feeling of, oh man, is this really going to look like this person, or should I just throw this into the trash can? And I think one of the best things to do in these early phases is do some of the high stress, more stressful pieces. Like in this case, it was getting the eyes in, the pupils themselves, because that would really make this thing look wonky or not. So by doing this, it just kind of gets the project to a place where, hey man, I can either trash this or I can start over on a new piece, worst case scenario. And thankfully this one turned out all right, because you are seeing this video footage. I am contouring one side of this face, essentially getting every detail mostly to the way that I want it to be, that I want it to contour these edges down, create that bevel for the roundness of the head. And by doing this, it allows me to be able to mirror that over to the other side. Essentially, I can start making my way closer and closer to what I want it to be, but I don't know exactly what that is. So I don't want to start mirroring that back and forth and like barely working my way on both sides. But with working on one side, I will start to understand how far back I can move this back, and I can move a little bit quicker on this other side. But yeah, just fun to be able to figure these pieces out. Alright, so the bevel is starting to work on this side of the face. Starting to get that eye nice and creepy. Got the head contouring really nice right there as well. Got the cheeks still sticking out, since that's one of the key features is nose, cheek, and teeth on this caricature. And then gonna start moving that tapering over to this side. So with this side being a little bit more time consuming to get this side down, start understanding how much taper will work. It's still going to work those ears back a little bit, and there'll be details that keep working their way along. But now those details can be transferred over to this side. So those same understanding, essentially it's just looking back and forth and saying, all right, how much can I remove? So I can start working with the saw to kind of rough cut, and then come in with the chisels to start refining it a little bit more. All right, let's make some wood chips. So I forgot to click record when it came to carving out the teeth themselves and the slot through this, but that has been cut through, got a lot of the surface detail starting to come along very nicely. All right, so I'm gonna have to go paint this outside, but be back in a second. So sanding will just kind of help buff down the high points and just help to let the paint layers stick. And now it's time for a base layer coat of enamel paint. And that is what nightmares are made of. And lather on a nice coat of acrylic paint for that hair, facial, and top of head. And make sure that mouth and cheeks are nice and rosy red. And go ahead and mix together some nice White Walker blue eyes. And have reference just so that you can kind of compare. There is a clear coat which will help in the next stages, because essentially what will happen is there will be a color wash across this to just help recess some of these shadows back into here. and be masking off the teeth and the eyes because I want to keep those very pristine white, like kind of ghostly white. It's a lot of back and forth with this. When it comes to adding the wash, it's just getting the high points and low points to recess back. So it'll be adding and then removing, adding and removing until satisfied.
Listen, I don't know what it is about over edited video thumbnails that just terrify the mess out of me. I think it's the like trying to be so perfect that it's like inhuman. I think the same thing with like too much plastic surgery or like AI augmented photos or like face filters. You can see them flickering. They cause this level of terror, and like by no means am I saying anything against Mr. Jimmy James Stevens Donald. Just Mr. Beast, the like character that is out there, the like thumbnails alone just scare the mess out of me. I don't know what it is. I'm sure someone will look at my videos and be like, yo, your stuff is terrifying. I don't know. Like, let me know your thoughts if you think differently. Like if you're like, oh, I think they're really endearing or things like that. Like I can be wrong in my opinions. It's just, it is a guttural reaction towards content that makes me scared. I am not throwing shade by any means, but now I have this mask that I find to be terrifying that I'm not sure what to do with. I was thinking of either making a short film with it, or sending it to Mr. Beast if anyone knows his contact info and for some reason he'd want this. Like I'd send this out to Jimmy. Or burying it and or burning it. I don't know. Like this just, if you've got any ideas for this, leave your thoughts in the comments section. And if you like this, share this with other people. And happy Halloween.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah. So make sure to like and subscribe this video and share it with 5 other people or else.